Hello and welcome to the stream. I'm Jared. If you want, you can call me Jardo. That's what my bank put on my checks one time. We are working on Advent of Code puzzles in Ruby today. We're on day 5 of Advent of Code 2024, and I think what I want to do today, if possible, I'm going to look at the puzzle, and if I want to change my mind, I'm going to change my mind. But what I want to do is hold myself to whatever objects, whatever classes I define. I have to use operator overloading for their public interfaces. I can't define just regular methods. I have to define plus and the square brackets and minus and just let's see how far we can get with that. I don't know if I can actually do that. I have not looked at the puzzle today, but that is what I am going to try to do. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Day 5, print queue. Satisfied with their search on Ceres, the squadron of scholars suggests subsequently scanning the stationary stacks of Subbasement 17. That's a little bit of alliteration in that sentence. I can only assume that was intentional. The North Pole printing department is busier than ever this close to Christmas, and while the historians continue their search of this historically significant facility, an elf operating a very familiar printer beckons you over. And so this is going to be a reference to a previous puzzle, Day 1, 2017, which it appears that I did, conveniently. The elf must recognize you because they waste no time explaining that the new sleigh launch safety manual updates won't print correctly. Failure to update the safety manuals would be dire indeed, so you offer your services. Safety protocols clearly indicate that new pages for the safety manuals must be printed in a very specific order. The notation X pipe Y means that if both page number X and page number Y are to be produced as part of an update, page number X must be printed at some point before page number Y. Interesting. The elf has for you both the page ordering rules and the pages to produce in each update, your puzzle input, but can't figure out whether each update has the pages in the right order. And then we have an example. So these are the rules, and these are the yeah. Oh, yeah, Marco. I'm with you on that. I'm already thinking of terrible things to do, and they definitely involve that. The first section specifies the page ordering rules, 1 per line. The first rule, 4753, means that if an update includes both page number 47 and page number 53, then page number 47 must be printed at some point before page number 53. 47 doesn't necessarily need to be immediately before 53. Other pages are allowed to be between them. The second section specifies the page numbers of each update. Because most safety manuals are different, these pages the pages needed in the updates are different too. The first update, 75, 47, 61, 53, 29, means that the update consists of page numbers, the numbers I just said. To get the printers going as soon as possible, start by identifying which updates are already in the right order. In the above example, the first update is in the right order. So then it sort of walks us through this. Right. Because the first update does not include some page numbers, the ordering rules involving those missing page numbers are ignored. Yeah, that makes sense. The second and third updates are also in the correct order according to the rules. I don't think we need to go into that. The fourth update is not. It would print 75 before 97, which violates rules the 9775. So yeah, we have some more Invalid rules. For some reason, the elves also need to know the middle page number of each update being printed. Because you are currently only printing the correctly ordered updates, you will need to find the middle page number of each correctly ordered update. In the above example, the correctly ordered updates are that. These have middle page numbers of 6153, and then adding these up gives us 143. Okay, so we find all the middle page numbers and add them up. Of course, you'll need to be careful. The actual list of page ordering rules is bigger and more complicated than the above example, no doubt. Determine which updates are in the correct order. What do you get if you add up the middle page number from those correctly ordered updates? And so, of course, we have a large number of rules, and then we have our updates. As expected. All right, so we can close off this stuff. Pop that in there, open up day 5, and think about what we want to do. So, Marco, my first instinct, given your suggestion, is that, hello, Forcata, I see you here as well, is that we redefine pipe on integer to generate rules for us, whatever our rule structures are. Hello. And do something with that. So like we can define a class rule, and rule is going to have I don't know, first and last, something like that. And then so like I'm gonna just mess around in the debugger here. Oh, I can't do that. That doesn't work. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna do this so we have a nice clean picture of what we're looking at. So I can do like module terrible. I guess I say foo. Sorry. Syntax error. What? Did I? Why can't I define a module here? Can I not do multi-line? Why is this not letting me do that? Cannot do multi-line in the debugger. Okay, oh, that's unfortunate. As has probably been apparent from me mentioning it a bunch of times, I'm much more used to using pry, but want to get better at the debug gem. But I can do this on one line. Def pipe other, and then okay, interesting. Thanks for that tip. Marco in the chat points out that if you do binding.irb, it'll work. So then we could do rule.new self other, and then oh, interesting. Yeah. Oh, and it looks like there's an option to turn it on by default. So that's maybe that's what I want. I don't know. But then I wonder if I lose my debug commands here. Anyway, I wanted to see integer dot prepend foo. Am I allowed to do this? All right. So now if well, something did not like that I modified what pipe does on integer, which is fair. I was worried that something looks like inside of the inside of Ripper depended on that. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it looks like IRB is depending on Ripper, which is doing something with it, which is it's fair. It's fair. The question is what do we do instead? Because that was going to be that would have been a fun one. Like doing something that allowed me to just iterate over those, evaling them was what I was going for. Can we use refinements for that? I've never actually used refinements, but isn't that basically the idea of refinements? That you can do like scoped monkey patches? I've never actually reached out for them. Due to Ruby's open classes, you can redefine or add functionality to existing classes. This is called a monkey patch. Unfortunately, the scope of such changes is global. Refinements are designed to reduce the impact of monkey patching on other users of monkey patch class. This sounds like what we want. This sounds like what we want. Yeah. All right. Let's use refinements. I've never used refinements before. All right. So we would want to define a module terrible int that define, and then we say refine C, and C in this case is integer, and it's do, and then we define pipe. Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm gonna want to use my like debugger and stuff, and you know, if I'd rather not have everything be busted if I run into issues with this this approach. Self other. Okay, and then I say using terrible int. And I don't, this shouldn't need to be defined in advance. All right, I mean, let's see what that does. I mean, we got here, and if I do 1, 2, I get a rule. That's awesome. All right, this is that's great. That's a good start. We are definitely doing terrible things today, and it feels good. So the input is 2 different pieces, and they are split here by a double new line. So I'm going to use that to split these in 2. So here, let's sort of rearrange things. We can put this up here just because it's sort of dependency order. And then we'll say like rule data and update data. Calling it data, I know, like calling stuff data is bad, but like it's the raw text, and then we'll do something with it. So I don't want to call it like rules or something like that. Say input split on double new line. That should, we'll double check that that gets us what we want. And so we have some rule data. Def, refine string, def. Oh, I like this. What is double underscore here? Because that's not an operator. Oh, the method name. Okay. Um, I like this. I think we should. I think leaning into just doing terrible. Uh, let's rename this hacks, and let's put some more. Let's put some. Let's try and refine everything. Um, make the like least readable. We could define unary minus. What's the unary minus Ruby method? What's that? It's like at minus uh, or yeah, minus at, I think is the name of the methods. And define this to do split /n/n. And so then this becomes that. This is dumb. This is indeed. I gotta look up what all the other ones are. So that works. The actual like text of our solution is going to become horrible as we continue to just implement everything through refining arbitrary classes. But this is the bed we're making for ourselves. I wonder if there's a good list of Ruby. What am I looking for? It's like the syntax, sugar method, operator method names. Override. List of Ruby operators that can be overridden. References to the 2001. Oh, Kevin. Yes, Kevin, help us out here. Next, we have operators that are the names of methods on objects. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Kevin Newton. I was sad to hear that he is going to not work on Ruby anymore, but his valuable contributions are still showing up. So arithmetic ones are going to be ones that take a single method. Those are useful. Unary ones are ones that take no methods. And bitwise, those are going to take a single method again. Comparisons take a single argument. And the reference operator, you can put multiple things, as he shows here. Any number of arguments. Yeah, so that we'll have to use that if we want to do multi-argument stuff. And the backtick operator, which I don't know if we'll need to use, but I guess we could. I don't really know how it works. Typically used to create shell commands by calling kernel. However, you can define any backtick method you want. And when you create a string like foo, it will call that method. That's really interesting. I've never actually done that. So if we def puts x.inspect and then go like I mean, I've never had a good reason to use so it's just a string in there. Okay, I don't know what we do with that, but that's useful information in writing this terrible code. So we've got that in place, and now we need to convert the list of the rule data into a list of rules. In fact, we can probably do something slightly better. So we split on this, and then we'll map it through the for each of these, because we actually just want like the sanitized inputs for each of these. So we can do like dot lines dot map strip, and that way they're just the actual text of each line in an array. That'll be more useful to us. And then down here, we can rules equals rule data dot map. I don't think we can override map in any reasonable way because we're going to need it for too many different things. And convert this. So this is the rules. So we can just eval each of them, right? Rules. Love it. This is so good. Great. So that is their list of rules. And we also need to, I don't think we can do something like evaling these. Because com is not an operator that we can control, sadly. This is where I get a little sad that we can't like I think Haskell can do just like arbitrary operators that you can just define new operators. I could be wrong about that. I've never actually written it, but I feel like that's a thing, and that would be fun, but not us. Couldn't to use these as, yeah, I could use as method arguments. I could easily transform these into a method call. That's reasonable. So yeah, let's do that then. We'll have a class update whose initializer takes any number of pages, and then we'll just store that. And then to make our updates, we could update data map, and then we'll eval update.new. Can do that. We could even further obfuscate this by defining self dot square bracket. Oh, this is the wrong class. Star pages, or I guess we can just use operator forwarding. Oh, what did I do here? This wrong. There we go. Something like that. Totally unnecessary, but let's keep that going. And then so now we have updates. Amazing. Those are great. I was trying to think if there's a way to use that kernel thing in here, the backtick thing. But I mean, we could force it, but I don't think it really adds much. So we've got that. So we now have rules and updates, and we need to iterate over our updates and figure out which ones satisfy all of the rules, and then okay, so updates, and we want to sum their middle elements. So we'll iterate over updates, and I still haven't figured out the thing why my editor is typing double pipes. And what else we got here? Sorry, I was just quieter stream today. Just Marco and Forcada. At least according to my thing. I don't trust it now that there's someone else here. You should speak up. So if I'm going to change this, but I'm just kind of write this out as pseudocode. If update dot, or if rules dot all cover what's going to be say rules all rule dot it's like the opposite of satisfies. It's like update dot satisfies rule. It's kind of the inverse of how I'd want to from a design perspective. I'd want that to work, but let's not worry about it. Then update dot middle page else 0. Now that's fine, except that obviously we want to use operators as much as possible. So the nice thing we can see is, we can't get rid of our calls to sum or all because they take blocks and none of our operators take blocks. So that's fine. We don't need to do that. We could, and we're operating on arrays, so I don't really feel the need to we could refine array. Well, unless you alias them. Well, I was thinking we could define a plus. Say we want to do sum. We can redefine plus on array so that it takes a proc and then pass in a proc, and then we can do it, which I might still do afterwards just to truly make this horrible. But for the sake of getting to a working solution, I'm going to not do that yet. But satisfies and middle page are great ones. We can do whatever we want. It's just a matter of picking through Kevin's list of options here and choosing one that we like. Modulo's kind of fun. Bitwise is kind of fun. XOR, we were already overriding pipe on one object, so equals is funny, especially since it returns a Boolean still. Case equality is actually kind of, let's use case equality because that's actually kind of semantically kind of makes sense if you say rule case equality, or even the other way around, update case equality rule. But I want the logic to be in rule, so we'll that's good. And then not good, but it's it'll work. And then let's use a unary operator. Squiggle? Sure. Squiggle. All right. And we can come back. I am tempted to come back and redefine map, and sum and all as operators, but we'll do that later. Okay, so the two methods we need to make this work are the update method and the rule method. Let's do update first. We won't really be able to check that it works, but it should be pretty easy. Because this is just going to be the middle element of pages. Is there an array method that just gives me that? median. Does it not come with a median? Oh, that's rude. That feels like something like that. Someone should suggest that as an addition to CRuby. Fortunately, we are already talking about refining things, so we are going to do that, and we can even do it array percent middle. Oh my god, that's really bad. What does array have a percent method already? What does that do? It doesn't have a method. I mean, we can. That's genius. I love it. Def percent other. Well, I mean, we don't even need. There's no other method. There's no percent already. We don't need to handle the super case. We could. There's no reason to even check the argument. This is a version that takes an array. We'll just have to. No, we don't need sort. We just need the middle. We don't actually care about sorting it. So sorted can just be self, and that could work. Let's put our binding.break before this broken code that's below it. And I want to test our 1, 2. Hopefully this. Oh yeah, the refinement should happen here. That returned the number 2.0. That's not right. Oh, it's somehow converting these to floats. What did I do? Let me look at this code again. What is this doing? Why is there two? Oh, this is method median. Isn't, yeah, the median is the middle number, right? If it's sorted, I guess, but we removed the sorting. Midpoint. Oh, but it's doing this because it handles the cases where, yeah, you take, yeah, if there's, right, yeah, no, I understand. So just to explain after the fact, this handles cases where there's an even number of things in the array, and we don't care about that. We just want the middle item in the array, which is simpler. So we can say if, let's just not even handle the error case. We want, so let's say if there's 5 elements in the array, then we want half the length. Is that right? It was 0, 1, 2. No, the floor of half the length, right? And we need to self. Okay, that seems right. So now we can try what we did before. Ta-da! and it'll give us the wrong element if that happens, and it'll give us null if that happens, but we don't care about those cases. Oh, right. Good call. Good call. We don't need the floor because we're already working with integers. Thank you, Marco. So we can get rid of that. And so now this percent squiggle method, or the squiggle method, just does this. We can technically put any string there because it's being ignored, but it's much funnier if we put the string middle. Okay. I hope that what the mess that we've made here in part 1 makes part 2 just obscenely difficult for us. Because this doesn't seem super hard as is. So now we need to, I guess we should double check that that worked. So if we have a, we can go pages first. Oh, what happened? Oh, sorry, updates first. And we want to squiggle method that. Undefined method percent for an instance of array. Oh, interesting. Well, I'm about to learn something about how this works. Oh, because this is outside of the using hacks. So does it need to be inside? That would make sense. Yeah, okay, perfect, cool. That makes sense. The refinements don't take effect until you use the using call. I mean, this, I hope that people watching and people who watch this later appreciate this terrible tutorial and what you can do with refinements. I've never reached for them in code. I know there's some performance issues and stuff associated with them, so you probably wouldn't want to use this in some really performance sensitive things. And you certainly wouldn't want to do anything that I'm doing in production code, but I don't know. I can think of a situation where I might think about using this, using refinements. Probably not, but so now we're on to our next one, which is the triple equals, which we are going to define on rule. And triple equals is going to take an update. Normally when you're operator overloading, one of the things that you want to do is some kind of checking on the inputs that they are what you expect them to be. So for example, in but it might round up. Oh, did we check that that actually still works? Oh yeah, no, we're good. So in the example of, like, for example, if you're implementing money value objects and you were implementing arithmetic operators on those, you would want to make sure that the thing that the things that you're adding together are other money objects, because otherwise your code's probably not going to work. We're not going to worry about that here. We're going to assume that nobody's triple equalsing or case equality, as this operator is called, our rules with anything other than updates. And we want to expose pages such that we can check that the rule now, I initially wanted to put this logic in rule. Maybe it's easier if we just put it in update, though. just because we have to operate on that pages instance variable, and then we have to like expose that to the rule, and that's not like hard, but kind of seems backwards. And then this needs a first and a last. So the update is going to need to know about the first and the last. I mean, so I guess we're exposing something to somebody. But let's pick a pair of unary operators for that. I'm thinking plus and minus. And then in here, we need to make sure that the index of each of those are in the correct order. So we're basically index of let's say rule now plus rule is yes, this is going to be. I felt bad that previous days were not nearly weird enough, and I'm not going to feel that way about today's. So plus, we want the index to be less than. Okay. We can make index of a. Can we do like? Does it let you do like private operator overrides? I guess it probably does. But let's implement it as a real method, and then consider doing that. Or we could add it to our refinement on array. So I want to just look at Ruby array. How do I get the index of something? Find index or index. Find indexes returns the index of a specified element. And how is that different from index? Returns the index of a specified element. How is that different? This one takes a block. Oh, find index is an alias for index. Okay, so they're the same. Cool. So this, pages dot index value. So this might actually work now, right? Is there anything else I'm missing? That'd be funny. Oops, I won't continue. All right, undefined method less than for nil. Interesting. That means, so I guess the rule doesn't apply so we have to handle the case where the rule doesn't apply. So in that case, we do need a check somewhere. So I guess we say return true unless index of rule and index of minus rule. Take this debugger out. We don't need it right now. And then that just prints out into garbage because we never actually and remove this binding break. All right, so we have a solution. We're going to refactor it further if it's right, but let's double check it. We did it. Okay, we did it. That's awesome. But we can make this way worse. I think maybe we add an operator here that maybe if we can pick it, especially if we can pick another one that arrays don't use. This is what are we doing again? This is the index operator. So it has to take an argument. We can use division. Division's probably not implemented on array. Yeah, there's not very many that are implemented, so division's fine. Or exponentiation. You should have just defined less than on nil class to return false. I'd also have to handle the case where you call it with less than. Like I'd have to define it on numbers as well. That's tempting. I'll consider that. Let's do this first, and then we'll think about that. So this can return index other. I feel like you shouldn't have considered it. Probably, but we're here. And so now we can do pages. And I can replace this down here as well. Actually, does the operator precedence in this work? This is so bad. We should even, I feel like we should probably kill the early return and turn this into just like a single chunk of Boolean logic. But I'll worry about that if we still get the right 550. Was that the same as before? 5374. Yeah. Okay. So we're cruising. That's awesome. We can delete this method now, and so this becomes not that, or not that, or that. Is that right? Undefined method. Oh, asterisk for false. Okay, so okay, lovely. That's so bad. What were we gonna do? Oh, the nil class thing. I'm worried that I'm worried that the nil class, like changing it on nil and number, is going to bite us in part 2 in some way. But I kind of still want to do it. Let's put a pin in it and come back to that once we've done part 2. So we've got here. This is, I'm going to commit this actually. Day 5, part 1. This is, I love what we've done here. This is the best. And I'm tempted to do map and sum and all. So essentially we'd be able to replace map with, and let's just go double check what operators are on array again. I mean, we got lots we can use. Just want to pick one that's not actually in use. I feel like using does not equal or something is terrible. Greater than safe. So we would write greater than, and then something like R. This is good. This is very good. So other, and then we're just going to assume that other is, so we're just going to go map other sure. Standard refusing to let me write this the way I want to, but I'd rather be using standard. Yes. Okay, that works. And then there was another map somewhere. Oh, there's a map inside of there, but that's inside of the refinement. So I don't think we can use that there. Double check we're still working. 5374, yes. So we can do sum as well. That's where I'd want to use array concatenation, or like use the plus operator. But is there? We don't have a plus operator in this. No. What else have we defined on array right now? Asterisk. I mean, we could just do asterisk. No, it's already defined. I mean, I'm not using it, but this guy, bitwise XOR for sum. And this is like basically exactly the same as the other one. Greater than equals. Yeah, sure. Why not? Greater than equals. It makes the code even harder to read, so I approve. So this is greater than equals, and then this is, oh, for a map. Yeah, that's coherent. This makes it significantly harder to read. Yeah, we're golden, and then we need one for all. That's already implemented, isn't it? Ampersand, yeah, because that's use that for unions. I mean, I guess we could just go the other way. Less than equal. Oh yeah, we're not using method missing yet. Maybe a future episode will be a method missing one. That could be good. And I feel like we should turn this into a ternary just to make it truly terrible. Yeah. All right. We can probably leave it there and then go do part 2. Very important refactors. All right. So this is good. This is very, very good. Let's see what part 2 has for us. While the elves get to work printing the correctly ordered updates, you have a little time to fix the rest of them. For each of the incorrectly ordered updates, use the page ordering rules to put the numbers in the right order. For the above example, here are the 3 incorrectly ordered updates and their correct orderings. After taking only one incorrectly ordered taking only the incorrectly ordered updates and ordering them correctly, their middle page numbers are 47, 29, 47. Adding these together produces 123. Okay, so we're fixing them. Okay, so we can, so we'll call this part 1. And we'll say puts oh no, I do you see what I see? We're gonna redefine backtick up here just to be puts. Part 1. Can you? Yeah, you can do that, right? Yeah, and then I'll just set it to 0, and double check that that works. Perfect. All right. So there we go. We found a use for overriding backtick for at least for a little usage here. I'm sure we can find something better in a future day. So now we know that we need to filter this into good and bad updates, which I think we should probably do. So we can take that out of here. Oh, and let's do the thing we did before, where we I'm just gonna raise unless part 1 is that, just in case just to catch any mistakes we make. I'm just gonna raise the number. What does that actually do if I just raise a number? Oh, that didn't work. Right, because of operator precedence. I feel that I'm surprised we've had fewer issues. Okay, so it doesn't let you do that. Okay, well, I'll just make it a string. Okay. I'm surprised we have not had more operator precedence bugs in this code yet. We could also redefine backtick as eval. So let's split this. So we split the updates here, and then we want to say good or valid updates, invalid updates equals, and then I think we want to use array partition. Is that the right one? Or something like that. Should be array. There's one for like grouping things, and oh, it's on enumerable. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we want. So this would be like updates.partition, and we can make this horrible in a second, but it's I'm already struggling to read what we've done. This rule. Update. And then this one would change from being this would just be valid updates. And then we can remove our conditional logic. And you can probably just make this one nice one line here. Beautiful. Okay, so that is what we wanted there. Let's obfuscate partition while we're here. Just pick what's not used. This one. That one's definitely not used. I almost want to metaprogram this, like dynamically define all of these. You might be able to do instead of the proc. Oh, interesting. Yeah, let's try that. Let's first let's do this and then let's try that. So this becomes whatever operator I no, I don't have my equals tilde. Uh-oh, unmatched. Where is there an unmatched? Oh, up here. Cool, okay. And then, yeah, so I think we'd still have to make it look like a normal method call. It's this one. It's this. No, it's greater than equals, but like, but I'm not using the block syntax. Yeah, but the argument, does that maybe it doesn't. I mean, let's try. I think it would have a colon in it too, right? Yeah, wrong number of arguments, because then it's receiving that as a block, not as a regular argument. So I guess we could just, which one is sum? This one? Does Ruby let me do that? It does. Yeah, okay, so we could do that. We could make it work with both options. I mean, that's pretty horrible. That is some of the most obtuse Ruby that I've seen. So good suggestion. Love that. I mean, but we're gonna want some. Oh no, we're gonna be doing the same thing on fixed updates where we've updated them to work correctly. And so we're going to be, so we can reuse that, and that's not going to annoy us, because I'm thinking if we want to use sum with an argument that is a proc later, this would annoy us, or we could make it work for both cases or something. But no, I don't think that's going to be a problem for us. So 10 out of 10. Love these suggestions. So now we actually have to think about part 2, now that we've split things out. And I think what we want to do is, so we're working on the invalid updates, and we're going to want to map over those, which is this. And then transform them into valid updates and then sum those. Except that we're probably going to need parentheses. I think we need parentheses there. And what we do in here is somehow fix each one. Now, the one thing that I was a little put off by in the thing, it doesn't really say what the strategy is. So 75, 97, 47, 61, 53 becomes 97, 75, 47, 61, 53. For each of the incorrectly ordered updates, use the page ordering rules to put the page numbers in the right order. But like, couldn't there be multiple possible right orders? For the above example, here are the 3 incorrectly ordered updates and their correct orderings. So it shows 75 and 40. So it shows 97 being moved to the beginning. And let's just review why that one was invalid. It would violate 9775. So it's just swapped them. And that is, okay, and the second one is also not in the correct order. It's 2913. So that swaps 29 and 13. And this one breaks several rules. So maybe it's because I'm just thinking algorithmically about what we need to do here. 97, 13, 75, 29, 47. 97, 13, 75, 29, 47 becomes 97. 75 is not the beginning. I wish it would tell us what the rules were. Okay. So my thought is that we implement a method on update that returns a new update given a rule if the rule doesn't match. So we write some logic in here that says, or it returns itself if the rule does match. So we would say here, rules, we can use inject, and because that gives us another opportunity to make this even worse. Rules inject rule. Oh, we need to give it a base. It'll be update, and I will never remember what order those go in. Oh, but that takes multiple arguments. Shoot. So we can't, I don't think we can make inject into an operator because it would take multiple arguments. And when the only way we have of doing that is the reference operator, square brackets, which we can't write square brackets on array, I think. Does any of our code use square brackets in array? I mean, if it's in the refinement, would that actually, well, we'll talk about that when we get there. That's really obscenely bad, if we can do that. But that would be amazing if it works. This code almost looks like Haskell just because of all the weird operators. So what was I saying? We want to update dot fix rule. Sure. And I guess running this should produce an error that will tell me whether I got the arguments in the right order. Undefinied fix for update. I did. Okay, so it is the memo is first. And we're not going to call that fix. We're going to go find a new method, a new operator to use. What method fixes things? division, bitwise shift, bitwise left shift. Plus. Yeah, there's no plus. It's not. I can't do that though. There's no plus plus. I wish there was. I wish that we had both a unary plus plus and a. Well, actually, no, we can't have both, but whatever. All right. So this needs to return self if self triple equals rule. That's our base case. Oh, don't do that to me. And then we need to do something else here. Like we can do like, new pages equals pages dupe. This is not the best way of doing this. It's just like I'm thinking of things that'll work here. And then index of start equals index of end, or what do I call it? I called them first and last. Let's keep this. And then we need to just swap them. So I don't know that just swapping them is the solution, but that's all that needed to be done in the examples they gave. So I'm going to do that for now, but I don't really like how the question is phrased here, so we'll see. So new pages, index, but we're using square brackets here, unfortunately, and this is inside the but square brackets equals. That's different. That's a different operator. It's a different method. Maybe we're okay. And this square brackets out here is outside the refinement context. And then we return a I don't know, that could work. Alrighty, let's see. Not the right answer. Your answer is too low. If you're stuck, make sure you're using the full input data. There are some general tips on the above, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so too low. Interesting. Too low. That doesn't really mean anything. Sometimes like you can infer something from this, from like whether your answer is too high or low, but I don't really think you can here. Yeah, so it's not just stop swapping. I'm also curious. Swapping could invalidate an earlier rule. So do we need to do it could we get there just by reapplying the rules? So let's extract the valid method. Or proc, not method. Yeah, it feels like it's probably not just swapping, but I don't know. Until valid call update. Update equals. Is that going to return? Do I need to add that? I don't know. Okay, well, this isn't working. Okay, so this confirms that that approach is not it. We need to do something smarter than that. Because just applying the rules and swapping them will not get us to an answer. But then what do we have to do? There's 3 incorrectly ordered updates and their correct orderings. I want to just look at 97 has to be before 13. That's fine. That rule's not validated. So I'm just looking at all the rules for the that's the only rule around those 2 numbers. And so it does end up with 13 at the end. Okay. Okay, what about, whoa, didn't mean to do that. 75 must be before 29, and 75 is before 29, so that's fine. So 13, what about 29? Oh, I'm struggling to type here so bad. That's the only one related to 29. Okay, so 47 has to be before 13. So what happens here? Why is 47 moving there? 47 has to be before 13. Oh, it's not. Oh, I assumed it would highlight all of them. That's annoying. There we go. That's what I need. Okay, so now we can do this. So 97 needs to be before 13. So my assumption, do you just put the wrong one at the end of the line? My assumption is that maybe these rules result in a single valid order for each one of these, and we would need to traverse it in in this dependency order. Is that a thing? Does that make sense? I mean, that's my guess. Just trying to think through this here. So 97, 13, 47, 29, 29, 75. So out of the gate, 97 in this example specifies that it has to be before all of the other. And 13, are we going to find that it specifies that it has to be after all of them? 97, 29, 75. But no, not all of them. Just trying to think, like, if we look at the rules that apply to a given update, can we like just, is there an algorithm that we can apply to get the ordering? I'm sure, I mean, surely there is. I'm just trying to think of what it would be. Because if we have the thing at the start of this list is going to be, like, we can see 97 ends up at the start because it can't be after anything. My dog disagrees? I'm not sure. I don't know what she's about. It must have been a sound in the hallway or something. So 97 is, we know it has to be first because it has to be all of them. And then if we look at the subsequent rules, we want to detect why 75 is second. That's what we want to be able to say. Now that we look at 75, we can delete all the rules that start with 97, and we see that 75 is the next one because it only has rules that have stuff in this thing after it. And then what's the next one? The correct order is 47. And then I suspect if we do this for 47, we're going to find the same thing, right? So 53 is not in this row, so we can ignore that rule. 97's been deleted because we've already entered 97 into the list. 13, 75 we've also already entered in. Yeah, so okay, we did it. We have an algorithmic solution now. We just have to implement that. I'm going to go through the rest of it just to double check that my thinking is sound. So 29 would be the next one. So we insert 47 and then 29 and 97 not relevant, 53 not relevant, 61 not relevant, 47 we've just put in, 13 is the other, doesn't affect this because it's a before rule. She is right to be upset at the code rewrote, Marco. She is right. So that works. And then the final digit would be 13. And we'd find that it just has to, yeah, so I think that works. It certainly would get us the result that we care about here. It works for our test result, so we're going to try it. All right. Then let's... We need to check whether rules are even relevant for a given update, which I think I want to be squiggly equals. So we'll say we'll filter it's array rule. So this, we don't need this. This was our implement. So we want basically the opposite of this. We actually might. So we want to say that. And so we're saying this rule applies to this update. Both of the sides of it are relevant. So I don't know, relevant rule, applicable rules. Applicable rules is rules. Did we implement a select? Have we implemented select here? Division? We still haven't done that one. And this is update. What did I use? Is it that one? Where are we? Yeah. So that should get us our applicable rules. I will not be able to recall any of the operators tomorrow. This code will be incomprehensible to me an hour after I finish this stream. There's no hope that in fact, I'll probably come back and write a blog post about this just because of how horrible what we've done here is. Just because I want this immortalized, and I won't be able to remember it if I don't do that. So I might even do that later this afternoon if I have time. I don't have too much going on today. Okay, so we have the applicable rules, and oh boy, this is tricky. So we need to find the I think we have to put this logic inside of the update. So this is going to be a method on update. So maybe this logic even goes in update. Maybe we just pass in all the rules. And let update sort it out instead. So we can just put that in here. That's not terrible. Though if we extract this out to a method, we can use them both because this is the same logic, just negated. But I won't do that now. So we have the applicable rules. We're probably going to mutate that as we go through because we're going to want to remove rules that we care about anymore. And we're going to build a new set of new pages. It's going to be our new set of pages. And at the end, we're going to do the same thing we did before, where we can return a new update. My stream chat, or my users in chat shows that it's only you, Marco, and it's appreciate all the help here. This is going to be really a true work of art when we're done here. Help, yeah. I mean, if all I was doing was trying to solve this problem, we would have been done long ago. But that is not why we're here. So we want to loop until, I mean, let's say old pages. I'm doing this so I can mutate it. Dupe until old pages empty. Yeah. If somebody asks me that, I will say, ask Marco. We want to select the one which doesn't, probably the first one that doesn't appear on as the last in any rules, right? So we'll say new pages, the real shovel operator, not some crazy one. We haven't overridden that, right? I was trying not to override any actual operators on array. New pages shovel, old pages dot find page and it's applicable rules dot none. I'll use real names for these since I'll probably convert them to terrible operators afterwards. Page equals minus rule. In fact, we'll save this into a variable. Call this next page. And then I think what we want to do here is we need to remove any rules for which so applicable rules, filter bang, rule, and we're filtering at ones where it appears in the first position. I mean, this one always doesn't, but subsequent ones will. Right? Or no, it's this one. This one could. Right. Yeah, that's what we mean. So it's page, next page is plus rule. I think one thing that we could take away from this, like legitimately here, is that Ruby's expressiveness has like a real impact on how easy it is to write code. Because we are replacing everything that we possibly can with, you know, operators and symbols. And like, we could learn all of these operators and symbols and get used to it. But it's really bad. Well, yeah, no, and obviously we have, but like when used for good, this stuff's really good, and when used for, you know, bad, it's horrible. So that this like almost looks like it might be the solution. Am I missing anything? Yeah, it goes both ways. Yeah, and that's, you know, great. Uncle Ben, great power, great responsibility, blah, blah, blah. Undefined local variable or method rules for an instance of update. Where did I call rules? Oh, I didn't rename that. New undefined local method or variable, new page. New page. Oh, I said new next page, next page. Something tells me. Oh, I know. We never hit old pages empty because we never remove next page from the old array. Is that bigger than our previous answer? I don't remember what our previous answer was. It is not the right, and it's too high. Interesting. Uh-oh. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. Because we have a test case now. We can ignore all this stuff. We can create our update that is the one that we want to fix and construct the rules based on what's in here, and we can try to see if our algorithm actually produces the right result. Oh, right, and we can, oh, and that's so good. So if we do this, we can copy paste this in, put a bunch of commas there, and that will be an array of rules because of the horrible thing we did. That's kind of nice. and we are probably going to step through this, but let's just first see what the result we get is. What am I supposed to even call? Update. That is interesting. What just happened? Why did it just finish? What happened? Why didn't it give me a result? Oh, this is backwards. This is backwards. We're filter is I wrote that as if it were reject. I don't know what happened here, but I want to just run it, and so let's just comment this out because that is higher. That isn't. I think that is in the range of possibly right answers. Yes. Oh, we did it. That's amazing. Okay, so we don't even need to do this debugging. We can get rid of this. And amazing. So let's make this a little bit worse by fixing up these 3 or 4, 5 even array methods that we can hack. Let's also put our assertion in here so that we know that we don't break it. And then I think we can call this done. Okay, so that's working. We're good. We just got to pick some new array methods. Start with find. What's a good array method for find? Is there anything with a question mark or something in it? Negated pattern match? Sure. Oh, and we should make a DSL for defining these. Whoops, that's not where that belongs. That still works. And so that's find. There's also a dupe. We could also remove dupe. None question mark. What do we do? What do we want for none? We could do the other backwards shovel. It doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense, but so that's that one. We have filter bang. Have we used exponentiation? We have used exponentiation. Modulo. Is modulo defined? Can use modulo. Yeah, I know we're running out of operator. I was just thinking that. What am I doing again? Filter bang. And delete. Less than? Are we using that yet? Do you have to use a proc? Yeah, I think you do, because I don't. I mean, we can try. Here, let's finish this and then let's try and see if. But like, I don't even think that parses. If I don't, I guess we can try right now. Here, we can write a foo, takes def foo, takes a block, or not foo, def plus takes a block. I don't know. Let's block that inspect. And if we did like self plus like that, yeah, it's not even gonna parse. We would have to call it and not use the syntactic sugar. So because I could, you know, it'll work if I do this. But I don't think that's what we want. I mean, it's an option. It would certainly also be really bad. By bad, of course, I mean wonderful. It's all of these ideas are wonderful. So what was I doing? Percent is filter, and then I needed so this is, and that was less than. Okay, does that still work? No, I made some mistake somewhere. Call instance of string. Which one is this? This is the filter bang. Other call. Oh, I already used percent. Of course, that was your excellent idea for getting the middle thing. I mean, we can have it do both. Yeah, let's have it do both. That's even worse. Because we can do if other is middle, then do one thing. Otherwise, do the other thing. Oh, this isn't my syntax highlighting. We've busted something because my auto formatter is not working anymore. Surely mark syntax isn't so bad. Oh, I haven't put the and in. Yeah. Yeah, we could do a case. Let's just make sure this works here. Yeah, we're back. Sure, let's do a case. Why not? Just normal Ruby code. So that deals with all of those. And then I was thinking, so these methods are, we have all of these methods that are the same form. And we could, I don't know what works with, what can I do here? So can I, let's try. Say def self dot new terrible method operator array method. I don't know, this is and we could define method operator do other send array method other.call forwarding. Where do I need forwarding? We did use forwarding somewhere in here. So that's going to let me define that. It's not doing anything yet. And then I should be able to say new terrible method. Oh, right, not for delete. Delete's one of the ones that's not a oh, does map take a? Maybe. I'll have to try that. Can you pass a proc to map? I've never wanted to. Oh, it would pass the block, but that doesn't get around the fact that the operator, like calling the operator with the block, doesn't. I can't do that. I still have to call the operator with a plot. Yeah. We can so I mean, I guess we can try it and we can double check in this console. So no, it's too annoying to set it up in the console. We'll just do it over here. But let's finish this. This is new terrible method, array method. So we're defining this one, and we're defining it as map. Whoops. That's, come on. There we go. Undefined method, array method. Oh, yeah, no wonder. Oh, it does work. Okay. Next question. Can I do that? Oh, something's expected to delimiter. Oh, that's because I forgot the dot. Oh, I can. That's so bad. So now I can redefine all of these like this. Yes, oh no is right. All question mark. And, oh, I skipped one. This is the one where, so this one's special because of what we did. We might still be able to handle that. I'm just going to move it out of the way for a second. We could probably make this handle both cases where we call it explicitly or call it with or whatever. I don't know how to words anymore, but well, we may have the worst day 5 solution in the wild with this. So we can comment these out, and this should all still work. It does. And then if we do a default value here and change this to be if block given yield 1 else do that. First of all, this shouldn't break, correct? And we should be able to define our other method as sum, and it should still work. Define method call for nil. That's unfortunate. Why isn't that working? Why would it still call it? That's kind of a bummer. This is... Where are we using that? Here? But that's not the right operator. Where are we using greater than or equals then? Oh, there. Oh, right. Sorry. And then we're casting in the proc. I want to make that work. Let's... Okay, well, let's comment that out. Combining.break inside of here. And we're essentially changing this to not take an argument and yield. Well, let's first double check that that works. Whoa, that's bad. What? Oh. Okay, so that works. That works. Does block given not... Oh, but block given... Maybe it's because we're inside of this... I don't know how the interaction here works. So we're inside of a defined method inside of a send. And it's like, does block given even do the right thing here? I don't know. What does that even mean here? It should be asking whether we've been given a block to define method. I'm a little lost on how to proceed to make this work if this doesn't work. Because I would expect it to. Maybe I need Ruby block given. It's on kernel. Returns true if yield would execute a block in the current context. But you were running yield. That is tricky. Okay, well, let's try a couple things. If we add a block argument in here, then if, I don't know, block call. but that didn't, we weren't doing this yet. Oh, it works. Okay. All right, there we go. So that works. Just for the sake of that, I'm going to turn this to this. All right. I don't, is there, I think that's it. I don't think we need to do anything more to this. Unless you can think of anything, Marco. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's leave this one here. This is a huge success. We've managed to do terrible things with refinements in order to produce a solution where the body of the solution looks like this. It would be hard to I would be hard pressed to make this any worse. Thank you so much, Marco, for all of your help on this one. This is definitely our best solution so far this year, and maybe my best solution to any programming puzzle ever. It also inspired a future day. We are going to do our best to use method missing. That's another one we're going to have to do. Yeah, single letter variables. No, I still have to go through this later and write a blog post or something about it. Tons of credit to Marco for his help here. And we'll catch y'all next time. I should be on again tomorrow afternoon doing this. Yeah, this was a ton of fun, Marco. This was I love this. Thanks so much for coming out. I'll have to figure out a way to get you on the call for one of these. Maybe we can do another one of these a little more collaboratively. But I'll leave it there. Thanks, Marco. Thanks everyone for coming out.